Okay. Roll call?
Supervisor Stone?
Present.
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Marson?
Present.
Trustee Melody?
Present.
Trustee Severs?
Present.
Assessor Morello?
Present.
Commissioner Robinson?
Present.
And Collector Clermont?
Present.
Okay.
Okay. Any public comments? Nobody signing?
No signs.
Okay. All right, approval of minutes from July 14th, 2025. Do you have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Gray
I'll second.
and Trustee Melody. Okay. Any discussion?
No.
Okay. Vote.
Supervisor Stone?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Marson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
Assessor Morello?
It says
Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay, that's right. Okay, passes, sorry guys.
And some reports from township officials. If we can start with the trustees, we'll start with Trustee Melody.
I guess the only thing I know you're going to talk about the Open Space Civic Center Committee appointments later, but just wanted, I think a lot of people showed up to the meeting, was it last week, and I thought it was really good. We had a good turnout, a lot of good people, a lot of good ideas, a lot of good thoughts. I think once we talk about the committee again and get it formed, and we'll be forward to working with them, and I think it'll do well.
Trustee Gray.
I've been working the last couple of weeks on a write-up for the Veterans Committee. It's not ready yet. Hopefully I'll have it ready in the next couple of weeks for preliminary run by everybody, and still looking for anybody who wants to be on the Veterans Committee too. So if you do, email us at the Township, and hopefully have that at the next meeting. That concludes my report.
Okay. Trustee Severs.
For my report, I just wanted to recognize a phenomenal young man in our community by the name of Austin Bielski. He has run a lemonade stand. This is his 8th year. This year he raised just shy of, well, will be over $15,000. Since he started, he has collected over $35,000. When I went there on the first day of the stand, I was fortunate enough to meet Dylan Preston, who Austin was raising money for, as well as another young man who had is in remission from leukemia by the name of Rico Yaras. So keep up the good efforts.
Okay. Trustee Marson.
Nothing from me.
Okay. And clerk. All right.
Bingo will be tomorrow, senior bingo. Last time we had about, I think, 70 or 75. So we'll see what we have tomorrow. And I have already arranged everything for the Christmas party. It's all set, so move it up. So again, any donations or any want to donate any time or be on the committee, just let us know.
Thank you. And Highway Commissioner Robinson.
We just finished up the MFT for the year, and we're just going through all the bills and justifying everything, and that's where we're at.
Okay. Let's go to the assessor. Sorry.
That's right.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Assessor's office. You know, not much goes on in the assessor's office, right? We're at the point where we're working on border reviews. Border review portal has opened with the county, so any resident that didn't agree with our soft appeal, they have an option to go to border review. Border review looks at the evidence that we present, and then they make a decision on their own. Now, that is not the last and only. They also can go down to PTAB, where we are just, the township just acts as a witness to the evidence that's presented by county, and that's the last resort. Once the final decision's in, that's what the tax assessment will be at the year. I think last year we did probably roughly about 100 or so. We ended up stipping most of them. So we work with the residents to try to come to some good agreement if we can, and that's how that works. So if anybody has questions, they can call my office. We also got a lot of permits going on this year. It's been a good year. So we've been out and about doing a lot of that stuff too. So keep them busy.
Okay, you caught the program? Do you have anything?
No, okay.
Okay, and for my report, at the last meeting, I reported that we were hiring for 3 positions, and one of those was a maintenance foreman, and really looking forward to that. And he was in a car accident just a couple days before he was going to start, and could not start. So we are in the process of hiring a maintenance foreman, so we're doing interviews. If you know anyone, have them submit an application. Also, a lot has been going on, and it's always busy, crazy. We've been focusing on what needs to be maintained and, different issues on our properties. Morris Park, we've had a lot of vandalism, and I really would like to speak to that. I mean, it's been over a period of months, and the village experiences it as well. We had a lot of graffiti on the concession stand at Morris Park, and that has been painted. There were some benches that were smashed at the Healing Garden, and we haven't done anything about those yet. And we had there were windows broken on the barn at the Trantina Farm, and those have been repaired. And so we're just looking at we need playground repairs, and just before we even talk about Civic Center, we have to address our maintenance needs, and that's what we've been doing this past month. So other than that, I'll have comments, I'm sure, on every other item that we covered tonight. So moving on to action items for approval of bills for payment. So if I could have a motion to approve payment of the bills for the month of July.
I'll make that motion.
Stevens?
I'll second.
Supervisor Salem?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Stevens?
Aye.
Passes.
Okay, next on the agenda is a resolution to amend the 2025 regular meeting schedule to change the regular meeting location to 16057 South Cedar Road from 14350 West 151st Street, and to authorize required notice and posting. As you notice, we're meeting here now instead of at the Township Administrative Building. And at the beginning of the year, we publish our meeting calendar, and this resolution is to just follow suit with the rest of the meetings for the rest of the year will be here at the town hall. So is there a motion to approve resolution HP 2025-0811, Res 2?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
And Trustee Melody.
I have a question also.
Okay.
On the last page of it, why are the 2 October 6th and the November 17th, they have asterisks before them? Does that denote something?
And where?
On the very last page where it shows a schedule of the 3 main meetings for the year, there's an asterisk on October 6th and November 17th.
Oh, because those aren't on Mondays. But it's not the second Monday of the month.
We have to change.
So in October, what was the issue?
I knew the
Because of
November
the holiday. Oh, the holiday, because of Columbus Day. So we moved it up a week. That was already published that way.
Okay.
And then the 17th, we're looking at.
That's the year, right?
Yeah,
To
that was
move-
Because the conference.
because it was scheduled for the time.
That's part of this.
Well, it's not in the resolution, the date changes aren't in the resolution. The resolution is just on the meeting location. When it comes to the date changes, we'll just publish a canceled meeting and a special meeting.
Okay. That was my only question.
Anybody else?
Supervisor Salem?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Stevens?
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Next item is a resolution to approve and authorize execution of Fourth Amendment to the leased telecom tower at 14350 West 151st Street with Spectra Site Communications. And this is why we had a special town hall meeting, because we needed the authority in order to enter into a lease agreement. And as mentioned at the town hall, for those who weren't here, we've had the tower by the admin building since 1997, and this is to now extend the lease another 25 years. And we're going to get $30,000 up front, and then we will be getting $3,900 every month in addition, and then that goes up after 5 years. So does anybody have, or do I have a motion first to approve the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Marson. Okay, any discussion?
I'd like a clarification on one thing from maybe from Jason. Under the budget implications, it says in 2031 the monthly rental amount will increase 10%. But in the body of the agreement, I believe it says that the next escalator is in 2026.
I thought there was an ambiguity about that, and Stu received clarification that it's after it's after the first 5-year period in connection with the first renewal of the escalator.
I think that's what that is what it says, and certainly in our packet piece, but the very first page of the lease.
It's the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
You're referring to?
The first page of it, the bullet points under option 1, it says, unless there's an option I'm not seeing that we're taking a different tab, it says that the next escalator is 8/7/2026. I mean, either way, I'm okay with this because the $30,000 signing bonus is great money, and either way, we'll be back at the same rent in very short order. But I would just like clarification on it. So. Because if we can get that escalator next year versus 2031, I think that would be better.
I think it's just inartful drafting. Because I think the intent is that the rent is set forth commences on, well, that wouldn't make sense.
Well, I think the lease might really expire.
I thought the lease expired and it gave us a little time for the meeting.
It's 2 years from 2012.
So I think that they were doing this in advance. You know what, we were going to say something with the attorney review. Okay, so what we had in the motion was, is there a motion to approve resolution HT 2025-0811, Res 1, approving the proposed Fourth Amendment to standard lease agreement with Spectrum Site Communications, adding the increased insurance requirements because we were adding insurance requirements, and allowing the supervisor and attorney to make clarifying changes.
Right.
So you have a clarifying change, we could do that.
Yeah, I think we're lacking clarity, to be honest.
Yeah.
I hope that during your negotiations you'll bring clarity to it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we will. We'll make sure, the resolution that's being proposed allows Sue and I to make clarifying revisions prior to, we should presumably both approve those, so we'll make sure that we do that and report back to the board.
Okay. That was the only thing I had.
All right, any other discussion? Trustee Melody, Trustee Severs, Trustee Marson? Call the roll.
Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye. Motion carries. And to G, the approval of the Open Space Civic Center committee members. As trustee Melody mentioned last week, I had a meeting inviting the public to hear about the Civic Center and the volunteer to serve on the open space Civic Center committee. And we had a nice turnout. And so these individuals have stepped forward. Well, myself, Josh Barrett, Margaret Sabo, John Robinson, Paul McGeary, Don Melody, and Sarah Palermo. And there's still room for others to join, but these are those who have given us their commitment at this time. So is there a motion to approve the appointment of those individuals?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Severs?
Second.
Trustee Gray. Any discussion?
Okay, Supervisor Staler?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, and the next item is approval of transfer of budget appropriations. And this is, we were given a little bit surprise from the budget for the insurance for the open space property. It was budgeted on the line for insurance $2,404, and the insurance has gone up probably because we have a building on the property now, and it's now $8,894. So it went up $5,394. So what we'd like to do is move those funds from the contingency line over to the liability line in the open space fund. So if I could have, is there a motion to approve a line item transfer of the amount of $5,394 from 990 contingency from open space fund to the 734 liability from the open space fund, open space line, let me get that straight. Anyway, for the open space liability line in the open space fund.
Make that motion.
Melody?
I'll second it.
Trustee Marcy? Okay. Any discussion?
So do we know this going forward, 8,000 is gonna be our new?
Well, it could go up, you know, insurance has gone up on everything, even just the fact that we have a building there. But, so,
When we make the adjustments to phase 2, will it increase it even more? Do we know that? Or will it increase it with certificate of occupancy?
well, it won't increase it for this budget year,
Okay.
I don't think.
But for 2026?
The next year, if so, I mean, I can't, I did not ask, honestly, I did not ask the insurance company that. This bill was actually submitted in May, so, we billed again in May.
I'm just
for the-
curious if it would draw even more since it's gonna be advertised. And basically what it is right now, typed in how much more
Well,
that cost will go up.
it would most likely, because we would have uses going on, other things to rate, not just the value of the building itself. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, call the roll.
Supervisor Staler?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to old business. First thing is the 143rd Street update. And I said I would update everybody every month on that. And so I had reported that the county had chosen to move forward with the project and to continue moving forward with the project. And now they are open to entertaining somewhat of a compromise of 5 lanes to Parker and leaving the 2 lanes west of Parker to Lamont Road, leaving those alone. And they didn't say anything about traffic light for sure at Cream, but that's something that we would like to see, I know, put in there. And I'd like to just hear your thoughts on widening 143rd Street, because I've been speaking and we've been following the lead of the village and supporting the village with whatever they want. How do you feel about compromise to widening it to Parker and not having it widen between Parker and Lamont Road? Anybody?
And not having it widen?
I think that's I think most of the impact on the houses that are closest to 143rd Street east of Parker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dawnwood, Chickasaw on the north side. There's the Old Oak Street, whatever that's called.
Oak Trail.
That goes, Oak Trail that goes around. There's a lot of houses there that would be more impacted probably than further west.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like most of the residential impact is there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, this is the nose under the tent. You get 5 lanes to Parker, you're going to choke all that traffic down to 1 lane, going all the way out. You're going to have, it's going to be like, you know, the super speedway coming into 1 lane. They're probably trying to force some accidents there, to be honest with you, so that it softens everybody up in the community for a later date expansion of the rest of the road. I think just either keep it the way it is or do that. I think the compromise that I liked was the modified, I think it was like a 3 lane, yeah. Because that went the entire route. That could continue to handle a little more traffic, a little bit easier. Still 1 lane of traffic in each direction, but allowing people that are turning either right or left with deceleration or left-hand turn, gave them someplace to go, instead of blocking all the traffic. So I'm not really crazy about this idea of some putting 5 lanes only to one specific area, especially when it's already going up 355.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing.
You can say something?
Okay, well,
Just
yes.
the trustees, this.
As somebody who drives 143rd Street every day, I can tell you that the traffic isn't lowering. There's still a lot of traffic. I wish I had recorded it. I wanted to show you earlier last week where it was backed up from Parker to Santa Cruz, heading east. There was no accident. There was no anything. There's just a lot of traffic on 143rd. Now, one way or the other, we know, Cream Road is terrible. There's been a lot of terrible accidents. They have to do something with that intersection. But these roads are not necessarily always built for the current traffic. They're built for the future traffic. So I think that's part of what the plan is. We don't widen roads because of what's going on this minute. We widen roads because of what's going to happen. So I think that is something that needs to be considered. And I know your concern is truck traffic, but like I said, I live on 143rd. I drive up and down 143rd Street all the time. I never see trucks east of Bell. Most of the truck traffic we get goes to our shopping area, or trucks coming off the tollway to our shopping area. So I just think that needs to be considered.
Personality, do you have anything? Speakers?
I worry about the school there. My kids went to school there, and you make that left into heading west. You turn on a left into the school there because it's a little choppy in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a compromise, but again, I don't know. It doesn't seem like our residents want it.
Mm-hmm.
Us as board here, how many miles does it affect the township?
Well, the township doesn't have much on it. It's just, the Homer Glen residents are township residents too.
Right.
So, but as far as the township jurisdiction, there isn't very much.
Right, so is it more of a village issue? That's where, I tend to get my questions.
So we have a county board member here. I just kind of wanted to hear something that when I talk to residents, just a moment, when I talk to residents, I hear most of them do not want it. That's pretty, I that's the message that I hear. I would still like to just fight for the modified 3 lanes instead, you know, the center lane instead of the full 5-lane widening. But I don't know, if you want to say something,
You know, kind of
board member
clarify
Village.
a little bit of this stuff. From my standpoint, whatever the Village of Homer Glen wants, whatever you guys want, that's what I'm going to be fighting for. I've been fighting it 2.5 years already. So it's not, this has been going on and on and on. And it's just about, out of a 12-month period, the county board's arguing about this, at least 7 of them. So this is a long-standing problem. So the county executive got all nervous at that last meeting when Sue came and the mayor came and they both spoke and they made people a little bit nervous, right? And
We're not laughing at you.
You're going to be back outside.
What
What happened? I think I'm in trouble. You're telling me about copying, you know? No.
She's our resident here.
Okay, you scared me, all right? All right, well, anyway, the road is actually gonna go from Route 59 in Plainfield all the way to connect to 143rd and 355. They already built the bridge over the Des Plaines River and it stopped, and it has 143rd Street written on the bridge. Just so you know, it's not a project that we're thinking about. The project ends at Cicero. So this project is going to be, in my mind, guess what, how I really don't like it, because it's going to bring warehouses and trucks. Because it's going to go from Route 59 to Cicero, and that's going to be a truck route. They're saying it's a minor arterial road. To me, it's an expressway.
Well, where I live, it's already 5 lanes, and we already have warehouses and trucks. So I live close to 355, so we already have that.
Well, it's
You
going to
know,
be
as far as what the village maintains, which is most of that is in the village all the way down, that they can control by zoning. They don't want warehouses, they can control that by zoning.
You know what's going to happen? There are people on the western end, and I'm not in favor of this thing still, just so you're aware, you know. But I'm not going to go, I'm supposed to represent all the people, and that's what I do. But when you start talking about the western end, they got all those ranches with that, farm animals. Well, they're not going to be able to keep those ranches with all the noise from the traffic. So what's going to happen? They're going to sell. Who's going to want to buy that other than warehouses? Because they're not big enough for subdivisions. So what's going to happen? That's why one of the things that, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but to me it's like the logical thing. Because there's an expressway right there, put up a warehouse, and they get on and off, and so they're going to be going. And it's going to happen to us anyway, a little bit. But they're going to put a light at Cream Road, at least that's what I was told. Because that's an unsafe place. So we're going to get a light at Cream Road, and then, in my mind, because I used to drive a truck, I'd get off at 355, and if I want to go east to 294, because that's the idea for this thing, you can get off at east of 294 or east of 57. It's going to Cicero. So 127th is Cicero, you can get on 294, and if you go up to Lasky, you can get on 57. So that connects everything. And I can understand why IDOT wants it, the state wants it, and why all the mayors and manager groups want it. But we have to worry about us, you know, and that's why I say I don't like it. But when they threw this other thing out, at any time, as you guys know, a board can overthrow what a prior board did, correct? You guys know that, right?
Okay.
Board A, we voted for something, you don't like it, you vote it out. And that's just how like this. So if they decided to go west of Parker in a future board, they'd have to start all over again. They'd have to go out for eminent domain or quick take, and they'd have to start the contract bidding again. So it would take a while, and hopefully the people on the county board at that time, whenever it is, would be fighting. But we would also have an advantage because I got a resolution passed that at any given time in a multi-year plan, you can change the plan. And they don't want to talk about that very much, but there's a plan out there that I felt like crazy to make it go through. So if you don't like the plan that they would present, you guys can go to the county and say you don't want it, and then hopefully you can get the board members to vote your way. But that's the only thing we got that might help to protect us going forward. Otherwise, we're relying on each time a new board comes in. The board that's there now will not vote for 143rd Street getting increased. But with this compromise, I don't know, because the county's going to save $13 million by stopping it, because they won't have to give the federal government the money back that they already got. And they won't have to they already contracted stuff, so they'll have to break the contract, and they'll have to pay something there. So they're estimating that this new thing will save them $13 million. So now the county board people that we have that crossed over and voted about this, we may lose or may not lose. I have no idea. So I have to put up a good argument one way or the other. And it's based on what you people here say, and it's what the village says. So, you know, that's why I'm here, because if you had a question, I want to make sure you understood. I told Sue that too. It's exactly what I said. You know, so this is an opportunity, in a way, to stop it, and they're only going to have the stuff east. Or fight it, and then we have a chance of killing the whole compromise thing, and it's still going to happen. Or they're just going to say, too bad, they're taking the compromise, and they're not going to listen. So that's what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, really, because I don't know how you guys are going to vote to do, and I don't know what the mayor's going to do. You know, I talked to her about it too.
When do you have this meeting in September? The transportation committee meeting. When is that? September 9th?
That was Public Works and Transportation.
So when do you want some feedback from us? We were just talking about it, but I think I'd like to hear from our residents. And I mean, because right now I'm going to support the village on this. And I think we would do that. You know, but I would like to have some conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to, you know, like, not everybody really had a strong opinion on it, except for Pete. Chris, you seem like you know.
I think, let's sign some of the.
No, but, you know, when I go into this thing, you know, when you start arguing, you gotta argue with a strong case. So I have to be able to say, I went to the township, and the township says yes, or the township says no. And the same with the village. You know, and for me to do my job the right way, I have to do what you guys want.
Well, I think we have consensus that we would like the third lane option. I think that was presented. Even though John's not a trustee, but he represents highways. He lives there on 143rd Street. I think his opinion counts for a lot.
You know, so, you know.
Well, like I said, I think roads are built, you don't want to retroactively build roads, because now there's issues, right? You would like to build the road for future use. And that's kind of the how you build roads, right? So, like I said, I have the 5-lane superhighway in front of my house, and I have the noise, and I have everything else, and
I think
so I understand.
we're in a unique situation though, because that 5-lane road was planned for the future.
Right.
And that future never materialized out here. Will County was a runaway, you know, the population growth. Homer Glen would have had 50,000 residents by now, and we're only at 25,000. That growth didn't materialize, so we're in a unique position because there were those forecasts made, and if they had built according to those forecasts when they were making them, like you're saying, you build for the future. They didn't do that. The future did not materialize. So it's kind of like we do have a unique perspective. We can kind of see backward and forward at the same time and say, all right, well, that didn't really happen. Is there really anything on the horizon right now looking forward, that we can say, well, we're really gonna explode over the next 25
And
years.
that's-
Well, there's really, I mean, you certainly 25 years ago, you could look back and say, there was explosive growth, but yet it didn't materialize here. So I think that, you know, given that, you know, that we have that, maybe other communities have this too, I don't know, I don't read all the local papers, but, you know, we can certainly see that that did not happen here. So we don't really need that much of an expansion, so.
And we don't want that, that's not Homer Glen growth that they're building the road for. And we don't want that kind of growth.
It's regional. Though.
Yeah,
It's a
we
regional
want
thing.
the growth to be, we want the road to be, we want 159th Street to be utilized. 159th Street wasn't widened when they made those plans for 143rd. And now 159th Street is 5 lanes.
So when you say you vote, what are we voting on something?
No, we're just trying to get a consensus.
Or are you just an opinion?
No, we need to talk to the mayor.
In approximately 2 weeks, all this discussion.
But he needs to know,
I gotta know, you know, you want me to go in there and say, forget it, this, you guys don't wanna compromise at all, and we wanna just stop, period. And I gotta fight on it. And I gotta come up with the logical arguments, just like an attorney would have to, but I gotta come up myself with them. And I gotta use that to try to win. The other side, you say, well, this is a good option because it's like playing dice game. You're gonna lose the roll of the dice because county board people are gonna wanna save that $13 million. I don't know. And I don't know if it's worth just saying, you know, giving in. See, that's why I don't wanna make that decision without telling everybody, getting input, because, my God, this is like one of the biggest things that's happened since I moved in here. And I don't think it's right for one guy, well, actually two, Jim Richmond, because he told me whatever you guys want, he's following my lead. So Jim Richmond will do the same thing. But I don't know how the other county board members are gonna feel. I don't know what they're gonna do. But we gotta have something to fight with. The only way you can fight it, the proper way, is to be able to say that the entire township board is on board to say no, or they don't like this at all, but they're voting yeah because it's a good compromise. I don't know. You guys understand where I'm at? So for me to win and you to win, you guys have to make a decision. Don't have to be this second, but we gotta make it before September because the first meeting's like right at the beginning of September. And I gotta already have my arguments made, so if you call me up.
it's the same day as our meeting.
I don't know, it's on Tuesday, the first meeting.
Yeah, but ours is gonna be on the Tuesday because of Labor Day, isn't it? Or, oh, no, it's still Monday. Oh, we're good. So our meeting will be the day
It'll
before
be
your
the
meeting.
first Tuesday, whatever day that is
Yeah,
in
September.
September. But I need at least a week to come up with some time to come up with some arguments using the statutes and arguments using what they've said in their own words. I don't know if you guys think it. You follow what I'm talking about? Yeah. So that's important because if you don't do that, then I gotta just improvise. And I don't know how far I can go. You know, so I go, well, you know, this compromise is a good compromise, but we really don't want it. You know, something like that, or do I go, we don't want it, period, we want the 3 lanes and that's it, and we want the red light at green, and no other choice. That's, to me, that was what the best solution was. The 3 lanes where you could turn, and a red light at green. But that didn't happen, obviously. So now we're at a different quagmire, and we gotta work as a team, more or less, and come up with an answer. And you got 2 county board members that'll fight for you, and I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I just hope you guys can, I mean, I'm not saying you have a special meeting and talk about it, but you might want to talk to Sue one-on-one, that way you're not breaking the open meetings yet, and then she can find out how you feel, and then she can call me. You know, because, let's face it, this is a big deal. And I can't fight without you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Sorry for a second, has the village come out with an official position on the compromise, or?
I wanted to talk to the mayor today, afterwards, just to see. So I just would like to encourage everybody to talk to, you know, your friends, and, you know, people that are in the village, because this really does affect, in my opinion, affects the character of our community greatly. And it also, and I've said this before, I think it can affect the economic development of 159th Street, because now you're going to drive all this traffic down on 43rd, because it'll be the easier, fastest route to travel, instead of going down 159th Street.
You guys are gonna be looking at walls instead of trees.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen the architectural plans, walls instead of trees.
It's not going to be pretty. It's, you know, it's going to affect a lot of homes. So I just think we need to sound strong with whatever we say. So just if you can report back to me, that would be great. And I'll keep Ms. Raj.
Steve, what time are those meetings? Are they
9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if we'll be on the first Tuesday, because that's Public Works and Transportation. I'm on that committee. It could be on capital improvements, which is at 10 o'clock, and I'm on that committee. And then it could be on executive the following Thursday. So, because this covers every one of them, because it's already been at every one of them. So it's up to the speaker, Joe Van Dyne, to decide where to put it.
Okay, let's move on to the Civic Center update. Or anything else? No? Okay. Civic Center update. As you heard tonight, we created a committee to focus on open space in the Civic Center. And currently, right now, we're going through a single audit that was triggered for because of the federal funds involved. And we are appealing to the grant manager to still get funding for the septic system because they were trying to close out the grant. So we're working on that. I have taken photos and I'd like to get a video, and we'll be uploading that to our website so people can see the status. And the committee is going to meet September 2nd. If anybody else is interested in attending the Open Space Civic Center committee meeting. On to the parade is the village is having a parade at Heritage Park on August 30th at 10 o'clock, Saturday. And Trustee Sievers has been doing a wonderful job of trying to coordinate shirts and candy and banners and a banner. So,
Banner, music.
you have anything you want to?
We'll make it entertaining.
So hopefully everybody blocks that date and public comes out for the and supports the village's parade. Okay, moving along is the logo discussion. We'll do the logo discussion first. Since it's on the okay, so as you may know, in the previous administration, they changed the township logo. It's in reverse in the packet, but on the agenda it's 10A is the logo discussion. So included in the packet was a copy of the branding guidelines that was created by Mr. Gondek. And there's been an expression about like maybe altering the logo a little bit to use, you know, give it an alternate use. Do you want to speak to this at all?
Sure. So what's on page 1, and I don't know if anybody has the packet with them. You know, all we did was, the only change that was made was to take the roots from the tree and make it into a couple of hills. It would be easier to produce for cut vinyl and for apparel, things like that. So, and again, that was not proposing anything other than making it a little easier. It's not proposing to change the logos on everything. You can see on our packets and everything, we will continue to use the logos for the roots. This was just an alternate to make it a little easier to reproduce in some situations.
So that's what I'm looking for. Is we're not going to motion tonight, or just a consensus if we add an additional logo to our packet. Because I think if we're looking at doing anything like on an apparel for the shirts for the parade, if anybody have any objections to that, then we could formally make a change at the next meeting. and then moving on, the next item, which was 10B, announcing general assistance procedures for the, and this is just for the sake of the minutes. And as a township supervisor, I administer the general assistance, and it is suggested, I don't know if it's required, that we record in the minutes that Homer Township has adopted the written standards provided in the Township Supervisors of Illinois General Assistance Handbook for determining general assistance to be provided for applicants. And there's no motion needed, it's just a statement for the minutes so that it's clear and understanding to anybody who's applying it. Those are the guidelines that I'm using when administering general assistance. Okay, and then the other thing I just wanted to mention, it's not under new business, was that the porters have requested to use the fire pit at the transient farm. If anybody, I mean, we would follow our general policy for using the facilities. If anybody has any thoughts, currently,
It's the junior porters, correct?
Yes, junior porters, yeah, thank you. Currently, the village is going to lend us some fencing. We're going to put fencing around the silos and fencing around the corn crib for safety reasons. And we are also replacing the mulch in the playground. When that comes out, we're going to put snow fencing around the playground area until we know the status of the playground equipment and the necessary mulch. So it might not be the best looking place for a little while until some of those things are remedied. If anyone has any thoughts.
They want to use the fire pit specifically? I mean, that thing's got the train wreck.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're going to take the benches out, so they would have to bring their own chairs, but that's just the designated area for having a fire.
But the fire pit
Are they
itself.
like talking about a bonfire or something?
Yes.
Because that's not a very big, I mean, that's like 3 feet across for
Yeah.
a bonfire. I mean, that's not a very big space to have a bonfire.
Well, they've done it there before.
So they don't make a huge fire, it's a small little fire, it's kind of get together for all the parents, get together with the kids, you know, just to celebrate their homecoming. They know they can't do a huge bonfire, they've done it in the past. They go with a smaller one, and then they just get together. It's just an open space for them to use. Their other option is always, you know, where the football fields are, but that's your direct competition to the stadiums. So they always felt like if we did the Trentina, it would be better. So.
Sue, did you mention a date?
September 25th. So we've got
We have some time to.
clean everything up.
I mean, especially to take the cover off it and see what's living in it, for starters.
I have seen under the cover.
Okay.
So
Great,
that,
great.
and our maintenance people have been, are cleaning it up.
Okay.
Okay. All right, does anybody else have anything for new business or something that they want to bring up for next month?
You know, I've had several phone calls about the senior expo because we're usually in it, so we were getting some calls. So I just want to let the board know, you know, I think Osco reached out to us at our office, and there was a few other ones that reached out to our office because, you know, and I just told them at this moment with a new board, they hadn't decided what we're doing, so we just want to postpone for this year. So
Right.
just to let everybody know what's going on.
You know, the senior expo was a nice event, and I know it was well attended. It was just too much for us to take on, just coming in and figuring everything out, and then to coordinate an event of that size. And it would be nice if we could have it at the Civic Center, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, you know, it probably will just not happen until next.
State Senator John Curran and our Representative Nicole Lahab are having a senior fair in the Lamont Township building, I believe. I can't remember the date
Well,
offhand.
they just had it.
Did they?
Well, Lamont Township did. No, not Fort did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the one in Lamont is sponsored by
Right.
Senator Curran and Representative Lahab.
Okay.
So that's coming up. So I think it's going to be very similar to the senior expo also.
And I thought what we might do before then is might have some other little activities. We have found out that we have a credit with Drury Lane back from 2020 when they used to, before COVID. 4. So, I guess I'm just looking for a motion to adjourn. Is there anything else?
So,
Can I bring up something first? See,
You should have done it during public
I was
comment.
trying, I raised my hand.
What is it for?
It was about a few things, about 143rd Street and
Oh, no, that's closed. We'll have to talk after the meeting. That's fine. Because then that opens up a whole nother thing. Okay, so, motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Severs and Miller.